Alright, this will be the second attempt, because I wasn't happy with the first one, of recording the first solo Super Game Friends Let's Play thing, whatever the hell it is we do. And this will be of the somewhat obscure Metal Wolf Chaos, which is an awesome game that I will talk more about as we get into it. That's actually an alternate title screen, I'd like to point out. Oh, hope I'm remembering this right. Oh, no. Type 1? I'm hoping it's Type 1. For Control. Next. This game is pretty amazing. Yes, overwrite that data. You'll see up there I had cleared mission data. Ah, here we go. I'm actually going to talk over the audio of this since you can read it. Yeah, as you can tell by the subtitles, this game is actually a Japanese game, yet it's entirely voice acted in English.
The rebels seized power.
Yeah, it was actually never released in America at all. This is by From Software, who you might know these days as doing the Souls games, Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 and 2. People like myself know them from the Armored Core series, which was an action mech series, which this is an action mech game, although it's more kind of arcadey, if you will, than Armored Core. There's less, you don't build a machine or anything in this, so it's a lot more like a hack and slash, a beat 'em up sort of thing. Actually, it's funny if you go back and actually read up on From Software's history, they were originally known, I should say, for their fantasy games. Their games that definitely are where the Souls games have come from, that the pedigree is there.
It looks like a fancy party is about to start.
This voice acting is amazing.
This kind of party is a first for me. Mr. President?
Oh yeah. You're playing as the president.
Okay, let's party!
Oh, I'm going to be interrupted so much by this game's hilarity. Let's switch straight to an assault rifle. Oh, this is going to feel so weird since I just came off of working on my 100% completed data. Ooh, hostages! Yes, there are hostages you can rescue throughout the course of the game. Come on! There. Throughout the course of the game. And that one I love has the two things that rescuing hostages are good for. The first is this big green tube. Every time you collect 5 of them, you increase your maximum health. Your health is actually those green squares in the only piece of HUD in the upper right corner there. Bazooka. And it works kind of odd. The vertical yellow bar is actually your boost meter. Here I am boosting and it's eating up some of that bar. However, if you keep boosting after it, you'll notice that it starts cutting into that green horizontal bar that's underneath my health squares. And it says I'm overheating, which is a little bit of a misnomer. You don't actually take any damage from that. But here's the weird thing. That horizontal green bar actually acts as more of a shield. When you take hits, it depletes that horizontal bar, and whenever that horizontal bar bottoms out, you lose 1 square of health. This oversized back door here. I love it. The game does not take itself seriously. And here's this was one of the other reasons I decided to restart, was because I hadn't beaten the game yet when I first tried recording a session of this. Oh, actually, I almost forgot to go pick something else up that's in this opening bit. I'm going to try and pick up as much stuff as possible, but I'm not going to languish on it too much if I miss anything or don't remember where something is. Occasionally you'll come across boxes like this that have the kind of star on it. They'll have things in them, like permanent things, like a weapon or a max health upgrade. Otherwise, you'll just run across unmarked boxes a lot, and they might randomly have, like, ammo or health, health refills, not health upgrades, that kind of stuff. this is one of the reasons I wanted to restart. I didn't know you could do this when I recorded the first couple stages of the game originally. You have this stomping attack that is very powerful, and early in the game it is basically your go-to. Like, you basically have to use this early game. Nothing back there. Gotta say, I actually do like the design on this mech. It's fairly unique.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. I love the way the mech will like look around and nod its head and act human, despite the fact it's supposed to be more of a mech instead of like a suit. Although it is called a heavy mobile suit or something to that effect.
Proceed ahead while destroying anything that stands in
What
your
was I
way.
originally talking about? Yeah, From Software. They're actually originally known for their fantasy games. And so it was funny because I didn't know that when I first got into playing Armored Core, and that's how I knew about From Software. So when the Souls games came out, to me it was really bizarre. And then I decided to go research them and learned, oh hey, they actually got their start doing these fantasy... They were actually first-person view style fantasy games. And they've always had kind of a Western touch. Everything about their stuff has kind of a more Western look than Eastern look to the fantasy. Just breaking up everything for whatever random items there are. You can break so much crap in this game. It's wonderful. This, I actually talked about From Software in one of the other From Software games that my cohorts and I are playing. Ninja Blade is one of their games, and is, looking at it now, it's actually more of a departure than everything else, because it's not in some sort of fantasy setting, and it's not a mech game. They do have another like hack and slashing action game, the Otogi games 1 and 2 on the original Xbox. And actually, From Software seemed to produce a lot of things for the Xbox, which is kind of cool. A very American console, which is funny because this is a very stereotypically American game. Like I said, you're playing as the president, and if you read that opening scrawl, the vice president has taken over the country via a coup d'etat. And you're going to stop him. You're going to go take back America. In fact, I can't even say it as awesomely as the hilariously voice-acted president will say it in a bit here. Not in the stage, I don't think, but either the wrap-up of the stage or the opening of the next stage. Something like that.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. President. The barrier has been opened.
But this game, the Otogi games, Murakumo, which is another mech game they did, Chrome Hounds, which is on the 360, which is another mech game they did. Ninja Blade was released for PC and 360. I don't know if it was released on the PS3 though. But yeah, they seem to make a lot of the stuff that gets brought over seems to get brought over, or maybe it was originally made on the system, on the Xbox systems. I don't know. It's interesting. It makes a lot of sense for this game, like I said, because it's very stereotypically American. Crush lots of shit. Break things. It's fun. It really is a genuinely fun game. Like, not just for the B-moviness of it, but... Although I just skipped over a pretty horrifying line of dialogue, or talked over a pretty horrifying line of dialogue from your secretary, Jody, who's the chick that...
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. President.
Yeah, her.
How's that for a ticketless chicken?
A ticketless chick... She says lots of weird shit. But she said a pretty horrifying thing earlier that I talked over. Which, when I came in here and the soldiers started coming out to attack Air Force One, she says, oh, I guess they won't be voting for you in your next election or term. It's,
The Oval Office, huh, Mr. President?
yeah, because you're fucking killing them.